Again, I am Jeni Sayud, and let me just kind of share with you what Ladies of Justice is for those of you who are first time listeners. Really, what Wellness Wednesday is featuring a woman winning in wealth every Wednesday. I know that's a lot of W's and a mouthful for everyone, but it's really turned into something that's been inspiring, selfishly for me because I get to connect one on one with a lot of these women, but unselfishly to bring you information, to bring you inspiration and motivation in whatever endeavor it is that you're seeking, whether it's here with Legal Shield or not. So if you're first time listening or maybe you're timing in, make sure that you text message the person who let you know about this call, that they can message me that you were on this call. We do a raffle every Friday for 3 months free of member perks. And what member perks are just 500 retailers that allow our members, and you don't have to be a member if this is a 3 month giveaway, for things like your cell phone discounts on your cell phone bill, discounts at Best Buy. I mean, a lot of people, I shouldn't say everyone, is doing online shopping now. And if you're going to be shopping anyways at the places that you're shopping at, see if our member perks provides an additional discount. Okay, so let me get into our mission and core values before I turn it over to our speaker today. But Ladies of Justice mission and statement. And again, take in mind, not everybody who we get to feature here on Ladies of Justice Wellness Wednesday is necessarily partnered up with Legal Shield in any capacity. They just maybe hear about our mission statement, they hear about our core values, and they could get connected to one of your local Ladies of Justice here with Legal Shield, and we get to feature them about their story and their passion and their mission and what's driven them to find success, or even if they're in their story still, persevere through that. So our mission is to help improve lives with our services and to provide women the opportunity and environment to build their belief and confidence, step into their greatness and power, control their lives, create choices, and live a purposeful life. That's what we're all about. And then here are our core values is to discover your worth, take ownership, build an inclusive and diverse community, elevate women as we climb together, and create wealth and legacy, owning your seat at the table and integrating family as we do that. I'm gonna stop sharing my slides here, but our incredible speaker today is Tiffany Ahuna. I've just literally, like this last week and a half, gotten to know this incredible woman, and we just clicked so fast, and I just was bold enough to say, hey, how about doing my Ladies of Justice call? And so thank you so much, Tiffany, for doing that. Let me hand you over the slides. There we go.
Well, good morning. Just a little bit of background. This is so excited. My passion is women. So the fact that Jeni gave me an opportunity to speak to a group of women, it was a quick, easy yes. So we did this in less than 24 hours. So bear with us. But I'm a business consultant. I actually own multiple businesses. So I do financial services, I do health and wellness. We have a clothing line. But what I wanted to do today was I have a natural tendency to just want to give people hope. And I think today I'm hoping that I can get this done in 15 minutes. But what I'd like to do is just reassure that really you guys can have the life that you want. Any life, no matter what. It really comes down, and it sounds a little bit too easy, but it comes down to choices. So today I want to give you tangible, I guess, knowledge and tools to dream big and how to execute those dreams. Okay, so when it comes to goal setting, the first thing is just identifying the goal. But one thing that people don't do is they don't quantify it. So if you say like, I want to go on a trip. Well, that's amazing, but what do you need to do to get there? So quantifying the goal gives you a number, a tangible thing to go after. And then of course, the third step is to identify like the time frame you want to get that in. So for example, just for easy numbers, let's just say you want to pay off debt and there's 10,000 debt that you have to pay off and you want to do it in 10 months, right? So right there, we have the goal, we quantified, we have the time frame. So what we want to do though, is we need to also create an action plan. So, and first, a lot of people, whether you're in business for yourself, whether you're a salesperson, or even if you work full time and you want to just create income on the side. There's so many different ways that you can do it, whether you're doing side jobs, whether you're baking and selling. There's just a plethora of options that you can do. But the first step you have to do is track your results. So a lot of people don't know conversion rates, and they don't know what activity they need to do to get the results that they want. So it really simply comes down to the first step is tracking. So I'm in sales, so it's going to be easy to use analogy, but it's really calls, meetings, and your closing, signing, sales, whatever, how you ever want to put it. And then also figuring out what your average dollar per sale or transaction is. And then what you're going to do is you're going to calculate the conversion. So for example, if I do 10 calls and out of those 10 calls, 3 people pick up the phone or 3 people book a meeting with me, then I know that my conversion rate on calls is 30%. Same thing for meetings. If I have 5 meetings and one of those people ends up signing, then my conversion rates for meetings is 20%. And then if my average dollar per sale is $250, then I know if I want to pay off my debt in 10 months, I need an extra $1,000. I need to do 4 sales additional a month. And what that would break down to is going to be 20 meetings a month, as well as 67 calls. And then what we do is you break that down to weekly. So what it comes down to is 16 to 17 calls a week, 5 meetings, and 1 sale. So when you break it down on, a monthly to weekly basis, it becomes a lot more attainable and a lot more realistic. My tagline is changing lives one business at a time. So hopefully that tip will just give you insight, inspiration to accomplish a goal that you maybe have always wanted to do, but just didn't know really how to execute it. I think you can do it for trips. You can do it for retirement, business expansions, that new Louis Vuitton purse, shoes, whatever you guys want, whatever goals you have. I think my encouragement is like, you can do it and you can get whatever goals you want. I've also used this for health and wellness. So last year I partnered with Isogenics, which is a network marketing company, and lost over 40 pounds, and it's the same thing about just breaking down your goal. What do you need to do on a daily basis? And the biggest key, or I guess things to simplify, is discipline to be consistent. And if you just focus on the daily small tasks, you will hit your goal before you know it. And it's just so exciting. And you know what? I love seeing women win in every aspect of their life. So I hope that tool works. And I guess I have a little bit more time. So just, I guess, history about me. Born and raised here in Hawaii. I went to San Diego for college and came home. I worked in the restaurant industry with Chris. I was actually a busser, the only female busser. Also did hosting. Then I actually went to Harley Davidson and worked retail. It's so random, but there I got to do scheduling. I did inventory, got to participate in buying meetings and picking out clothing. It was a commission-based store. So, there were sales goals, managing employees, payroll, scheduling. And then I left to go to Yellow Pages, which has a reputation of being the toughest sales job in the sales industry. And I would agree. So I did inside sales, outside sales. I was an inside sales manager, outside sales manager. And then I left as an operations sales manager, which is kind of like the VP. And from there, I went into business ownership. So I actually started off in franchising. And then realized as I was helping people so the franchise I bought into was Entrepreneur Source, and we were business matchmakers. So I would work with clients and they would say, I want to start a business. I don't know what I want to do. And we would basically do self-assessments and personality tests, match them with the right business, handhold them through that, help them with funding, and then place them into business. And what I found is as I was placing people into business, that not everyone had that I'm just going to go and never give up. You know, so I realized there was a need for consulting. And if I didn't go and hold my clients' hands for their first year, they probably wouldn't stick it out. And that's how I ended up doing consulting. And in 2018, God put it on my heart to focus on specifically women. So that year I had all women clients, and everything from network marketing with doTERRA to macrame to bakeries, restaurants, what else? Social media, real estate. So it's a little bit of everything. So I've had the pleasure of learning business on steroids really for like the last 10 years. And I just love sewing into other people and helping them. And yeah, I think that's about it. So besides SGI, also a part of a faith-based clothing line called Stay Blessed, which is on pause right now, but been working on that for the last 5 years. And then I'm about to launch a daily planner as well as automate my business tools. So I've created a business foundation worksheet and a daily tracker, which kind of coincides with what I just went over in creating your action plan. I find that a lot of my clients just don't know what to do on a daily basis to be successful. So those two business tools, I'm actually going to start next week and making it an online platform so more people can have access to it, and eventually also have an app so you can do your daily tracker right from your phone.
I have a question. What kind of advice would you have for someone who maybe they don't have a business, maybe they don't even know where to start in business, and but they know they need an additional stream of income? I mean, here in the last couple of months, I think everyone's come to realize they can't rely, and if you haven't, well, here's the news. You can't rely on the government, or you can't rely on, and it's only temporary for so long, right? So if there is a business idea that they've had, or maybe they don't even know where to start, what would you do to create those juices to kind of flow for people that maybe never owned a business?
So I think honestly, like that's kind of where I started too, is like I didn't know what I wanted to do. I just know I wanted to help people. So I think what I would start is just start making a list of the things you're passionate about, things you're good at. I think you start there. And I think a lot of people don't realize that they have skills and talents that can be monetized. So I think a combination of what do you enjoy doing, what are your passions, what are you good at, and then finding a need that your passion and skills can fill. So I think combining all of that is where you start. And then you can look to see as if there's a network marketing or there's an established business that aligns with that, or maybe you want to start from scratch. But I think ultimately it's really, and you might even want to start with your goals, right? So what are your goals, and what is the income that you need to generate to hit that goal? I think that's the first step. And then combining it with what are your talents, what do you enjoy doing? And sometimes there may not be a job or a service that's existing, you have to create it. So I want to encourage that don't get stuck or don't get put in a box. Like I'm all about out of the box mentality, and if there's something that doesn't exist, then don't be afraid to create it. Like there's just no boundaries. I mean, you think about the Post-it, right? The pool noodle, those are all millionaires. And if you think of those ideas by itself, it sounds ridiculous, but it was something that they found a need, they provided or fulfilled a need, and it took off. So I don't feel like there's ever a bad idea. I think it's just all about how you market, service, and can, I guess, connect with the emotion of the need.
I heard her say that we have to know our ratios towards hitting our goals, but what do you suggest for someone who has more of an online or retail business?
So you can also, it's the same thing, because online you're going to be able to see the traffic. So you can check on the visits versus like the abandoned carts. Yeah, all the analytics will see. So kind of like from a business standpoint too, what I would look at is how many people are visiting your site how long are they staying on the site, how many people are you getting abandoned, and if I don't know, like it depends on what analytics you have, right? But sometimes the analytics will show you like where they abandoned, and then how many sales. So the easiest and probably the easiest numbers is how many visits versus how many sales would be the conversion, would be the easiest conversion rate. And then what is the average dollar per sale? So basically you would just take a month or weeks of total sales, divide it by the number of sales, will give you their average sale. And then you can take the visits for that same time period and divide it by the number of transactions you've had, which will have your conversion rate of your visits to sales.
Yeah.
And then from there, like you can set goals. But there's also things too, you know, it's all about working smarter, not harder. So it doesn't necessarily say like, okay, these are my conversion rates, so this is the activity. You want to see if there's things you can tweak to get that conversion rate up first, because the higher the conversion rate, the easier, the less legwork you have to do. So first see that, like if there's bounce back rates, is there things that you can update on the retail site that could keep people on stronger, or reduce the abandoned carts? Is there promotions that you can run to get the sales, the average sales up? You know, is there a loyalty program that you can do to do repeat? So there's different things you can do besides just increasing the visits and the number of sales.
What's the best way to contact you? Get up. Oh, go
Oh, I
ahead.
put in the chat.
Oh, okay, you're putting in the chat. Perfect.
Yeah.
And for those of you who are just listening, her website is sgisamgilbertigloobusiness.com. sgibusiness.com. You can get a hold of Tiffany that way. There's some great tips. I took some notes. I'm going to listen to the replay myself. We had some great feedback. Everyone said that you were amazing. And please feel free to share this once you guys get the replay. We archive it on our private Facebook page, and we also send it out to everyone who requests it. So make sure you request it, because we don't want to just blast it out there and it just is in space or in a cloud, right? We want to make sure it's being utilized properly. If you are more interested in learning about what the mission and the vision of Ladies of Justice is, just reach out to the person who invited you on this call. They'll get you more details. But tune in next Wednesday for another amazing woman winning with wealth here on Wellness Wednesday. I know, it's such a tongue tire or it's a lip tire. Really appreciate everyone. Again, my name is Jeni Emson. Thank you, Tiffany. It was such a pleasure.
Thank you.
And have an amazing day, ladies.